Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Her Becoming. I am your host, Kayla Countryman. As always, thank you so much for being here. For any new listeners, Her Becoming is a holistic health and wellness and personal development podcast for women, helping you close the gap between the woman you are today and the woman that you are destined to become. So we explore topics on this show from mindset and psychology to movement and fitness to nutrition to building a business, finding your purpose, discovering your hobbies, and finding joy. Really anything under the sun when it comes to living a life that is holistically authentic to who you are. Today we have a lovely episode. I am a total geek about seasonality, about aligning with the seasons, about looking to nature for lessons and wisdom. And so today we are talking about winter. Winter in all her beauty and her glory. We are going to talk about seasonal living, ancient wisdom, slowing down, and aligning our body mentally, physically, and emotionally to be in flow with the season instead of against it. If you have never heard of seasonality or researched or learned about seasonality, it is really just the ways that we pivot in our lifestyle, in our day-to-day, to align more with the rhythms of nature. As human beings, we are actually not meant to operate the same way through every single season. So we are not meant to have the same day-to-day routine in March as we do in December. March is the height of spring. Things are blooming, things are active. We are blooming, we are active. Whereas in December, in the dead of winter, we are meant to rest and slow down. Now for women, things get a little bit dicey because not only do we have seasonal alignment, but then we also have our menstrual cycle. So we have our 28-ish day cycle that we move through that affects our hormones, our mood, our appetite, our energy. And then you also fold in this lens of seasonality that also affects our mood, our energy, our sleep, our workout routine, our nutrition. All of these things allow us to feel differently in different times of the year and then different times throughout the month. I love looking to the seasons to teach us lessons. I look to animals, to plants, to trees. I think it's so important to look to nature and to learn how, as beings, we can exist in a more intentional way. So first, let's talk about what really happens in winter. And I'm really going to break it down to help you understand how profound seasonal wisdom really is. So winter actually shifts how our body and our brain operate. There's shorter daylight hours, which signals the brain to produce more melatonin. More melatonin increases sleepiness and lowers daytime energy. So if you are lately like, oh my God, I'm so sleepy. On the last episode, I was talking about how I am a sleepy girl right now. That is because the shorter daylight hours actually increase melatonin, our sleepy hormone, and that's going to lower her energy throughout the day. Additionally, the sun is rising later and setting earlier. So that is shifting our internal clock. Our circadian rhythm is in flux. What does that mean? It means your body naturally wants a slower morning and an earlier wind down. Does that align with how you've been feeling lately? Do you want to sleep in because it's dark and go to bed earlier because it's still dark? If so, that is just your body following the natural rhythm of nature. It's not laziness. We get into this habit of thinking, oh, it's lazy to sleep in, it's lazy to add an extra hour. It's actually just biology trying to help us conserve our energy. Look at bears. What do bears do in the winter? They hibernate. And yes, as humans, we can't just go to sleep for a few months, but we can add an additional 30 minutes or an additional hour to our sleep here and there as our schedule allows in order to conserve that energy. If you're trying to maintain the same pace in work, in social life, in relationship, in movement and activity that you maintained in summer, you are going to face internal resistance, increased burnout, and irritability. And I'm not going to lie, you guys, I've been here a bit lately because I find myself pushing too hard. I got to record, I got to edit, I got to send the email, I got to do my 9 to 5, I gotta. There's so many shoulds. And when we're trying to keep up with that pace that really belongs in spring and summer, it's just a direct path to burnout. When you honor your circadian rhythm, That means you're sleeping more, you're taking gentler movements, slower evenings. It's going to allow you to feel calmer, to feel more grounded, and then to also be able to be more consistent in the habits and doing things that make you feel good. There's also metabolic and hormonal shifts that are happening throughout the winter season. So, winter actually affects how your body uses energy and how it regulates your mood. Your metabolism slows down just slightly to conserve warmth and energy in the winter. So, that's why warm and nourishing foods feel more satisfying. We want soups and hot tea and warm broths. That's because we want to conserve the warmth in our body. That's an intuitive way of eating that actually follows ancient wisdom. Also, we have naturally lower serotonin levels in winter because of reduced sunlight. We know that serotonin equals happy. So if you've heard or experienced seasonal depression, that can really affect your mood, your cravings, and your motivation. I'm lucky enough to live in Arizona where we have sunny days most of the time, and that has really been a game changer for my mental health. I remember when I went to school in Michigan and it would just be gray for like 4 months at a time. It really took a toll on my mental health, and that's because of those lower serotonin levels. So if you live somewhere where the sun goes bye-bye for the winter, really focus on somehow getting that sunlight, even if it's through a sunlight lamp, and really, again, just giving yourself grace that your serotonin levels are actually lower. It's not that you're broken. It's not that you're doing anything wrong. This is just biology. So if you're trying to force summer habits and routines in the winter, possibly leading to sleep deprivation because your body's calling for more rest, that can spike your cortisol. So that can actually create more stress in your body. If you are forcing early morning workouts, that can create more of that negative impact, causing irritability and more stress and more dysregulation. I know that not everyone can shift their schedule with the season. We live in a capitalist society where we work 9 to 5, no days. Our schedules are built to really benefit men and really to operate the same 24/7, 365. And it's not realistic. Doctors can't just say, oh, I'm not going to go in the morning. I need to nurture my circadian rhythm. So I want to make that call out to make it clear. I know some of this can feel unrealistic, but there are small shifts you can make to further align with the season, even if it's just going to bed 30 minutes earlier or packing a warm soup for lunch instead of a cold salad. These are little shifts that you can make that are realistic, that do matter. Additionally, we know that the immune system is more taxed during colder months. We tend to call this time of year cold and flu season, which is really just we're around more people, the temperatures are cooler, we're exposed to more germs because people have nasty habits, we're not sleeping as well, we're dysregulated in our bodies. That's really what cold and flu season is. And so it's really important to rest, to nourish your body again with those warm foods that really help keep our internal systems in check. And then, of course, to increase your vitamin C, your zinc, your nutritious, colorful, nutrient dense foods. Your body is going to intuitively crave comfort, warmth, and moving slower. So, honoring that really is just going to support you in your emotional stability and overall wellness. So, I encourage you to listen to your body and reframe it. Instead of calling yourself lazy or sluggish, we're just seasonally aligned. I want to talk a little bit about ancient wisdom and ancient systems. Again, this is where I start to nerd out because I love traditional Chinese medicine and Ayurveda. So, ancient systems have always honored winter as a deep season of rest and renewal. Our society has drifted so far from that where we don't even think twice about the true nature of winter. But in traditional Chinese medicine, winter is associated with the water element, which is really stillness, wisdom, introspection. It's also the season of the kidneys and the adrenal system. So that's all about your energy reserves and protecting your energy. Do you see a pattern here with what we talked about the last couple episodes of reserving your energy, protecting your peace? That's the theme of winter in traditional Chinese medicine. Traditional Chinese medicine also encourages warm foods, early bedtime, gentler movement, reflection, all of the things we're talking about right now. TCM really changed my life and a lot of my habits. It is the reason I'm constantly wearing socks now so that my feet don't get cold. It is the reason that I start my days with a warm cup of tea before I have like ice cold water or a smoothie. It is the reason that I really honor my sleep schedule being from 10 to 6 because that is the optimal time for your organs to really replenish and re-energize. So, studying traditional Chinese medicine has really been a game changer for me. I encourage you to look into it if it's something you're interested in. Overexerting yourself in the winter is thought to drain the kidney qi, which is essentially these energy reserves, and that can lead to burnout. So again, it's all connected. I really intentionally planned these last 3 episodes to be interconnected, all about making sure that we are taking care of ourselves to avoid burnout, avoid pouring from an empty cup, and also to nourish our body seasonally in the winter. I want to talk about Ayurveda as well. Ayurveda is a traditional holistic system of medicine. It actually originated in India over 3,000 years ago. And it is based on the belief that health is a state of balance between the body, the mind, and the spirit. I hope to continue my studies of Ayurveda in the future, so more to come on that. I am by no means an expert. I am just a lover of learning about Ayurveda. But in Ayurveda, winter is typically the kapha season, which is cool, heavy, and slow. So they believe that your routines should counterbalance that cool and that heaviness with warmth, nourishment, and grounding foods, similar to traditional Chinese medicine, where you want to nourish your body with warmth to counterbalance the cold temperatures. It is also the season to build ojas, which is vitality in Sanskrit, which you can create through rest, warm meals, slower days, and emotional steadiness. I'm just sharing this with you guys so that you can see the patterns of how all of similar themes are carried through these different beliefs, through seasonality, through TCM, through Ayurveda. It all believes the same stuff. And we have drifted so far away from that. We just rush through our days through the winter. We don't give a damn about what we're eating or what we're drinking or how we're sleeping. And ancient wisdom shows us that these things are so important in order to feel our best. Ayurveda sees winter as a time to really turn inward and build the foundation for your spring energy. So back to the bear example, right? Bears are resting through the winter to then come out in the spring, more energized, stronger, ready to go about their life. Look at yourself like a bear. Time to turn inward, to reflect, to really ask yourself what you desire, and then also to rest and charge up for the next season. So here are some shifts that you can make in your routine for the winter season. And I want to just repeat, I know that not everyone can make huge adjustments. This is about making small tweaks that are seasonally aligned and can help you feel better in your body. So number 1, prioritizing sleep and rest. Take the nap. Skip the morning workout when your body calls for it. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. And there's a reason you are feeling more sleepy now than usual. It's okay. You can adjust your work routines and expectations above all. Last episode, we talked about adjusting your expectations, lowering the bar so that you are not constantly disappointing yourself. Instead of aiming high and feeling disappointed every time you don't reach it, in this season, can you just lower that expectation? Drinking and eating warm foods, soups, stews, grounding meals. I think I've made that point clear enough in this episode. Can you prioritize gentle movement over intense workouts? So maybe you skip the HIIT class once a week and do a gentle yoga class or go to Pilates or take a walk. Something that I just did that really helped me sink into the winter season is I made my home cozier by adding more Himalayan salt lamps. I hate big lights. I love cozy, low lights. And so I put Himalayan salt lamps all over my house. I think I have 6 now. I have 4 night lights and 2 standard size lamps. These not only emit this like beautiful orange glow, but they also have really nourishing properties. If you're into crystals and rocks and stuff, look up the benefits of a Himalayan salt lamp. It's really cool. the energy that it adds into your home. I've also been a huge fan of slower mornings and a longer evening wind down, really focusing on reading my Kindle at night to relax my brain and destimulate from the day. You can increase your mindfulness practice. You can meditate more, practice breath work, again, go to yoga, really focusing on slowing down and practicing self-inquiry of asking, what is my body calling for in this moment and in this season? And then also practicing solitude, not isolation, but solitude. Spending time on your own, getting comfortable with your own company, and being okay with just resting, of overwhelming yourself with plans. Lastly, but so importantly, release the guilt around doing less. When you do lower that standard, that expectation, just be okay with it. Just allow yourself, give yourself full permission to do the thing that feels naughty. When I say do the thing that feels naughty, if you are someone like me that is like, I have to wake up at this time and do this workout and get this done, sometimes it feels really naughty to just like lay on the couch and watch a show, right? Do that. Pick the thing that you're like, oh, that feels like ick. Like, I don't want to do that. I want to do my to-do list. Do the thing that feels naughty and see how that feels. Okay, that was essentially a mini masterclass on the winter season, but I just love seasonality. If this intrigued you, look into it, research it. It's so fascinating. As I study Ayurveda more, I hope to bring more episodes like this for you to learn and really understand how we can slow down and just live a more intentional life. All right, I want to remind you again, I am enrolling one-on-one wellness coaching clients right now and offering $300 off for anyone that starts with me in January and signs up before the end of the year. As always, please, please, please like, subscribe, share this show on social media, share this episode to your Instagram story. If this was helpful and informative for you, I want to know. I'd love your support. So please share Her Becoming with your loved ones. I will see you on the next episode. And until then, be well.